Hey, is it showtime yet? Not quite? Well, we're getting close to showtime on this entertainment coordinating series. Right now on this episode, we're going to talk about your entertainer checklist and position on stage. Okay, now this has actually been a problem a few times with more inexperienced performers. You need to have a checklist. If you are a guitar player, and I'm going to pick on guitar players for a minute because this has happened several times over the years. If you're a guitar player and you use a capo for half your songs, wouldn't it be beneficial to have a capo in your case? If you plug into an amp or a PA system with your guitar, wouldn't it be great to have that cable in your case? You'd be surprised how many people don't. They don't. They think you have it all. Well, in the past, I have brought a lot of equipment, a lot of cables to try to anticipate things. Also, a tuner. We all use a tuner with our guitars. Not everybody is blessed with the gift of being able to tune things by ear. So bring a tuner. Always put a tuner. It doesn't have to be a fancy one. A basic tuner. Put it in your guitar case along with your cable and your capo. If you're a keyboard player, make sure you have some extra cables. The cables that you need. Cables that you normally would plug into sound systems. And I mean generalized sound systems from the big expensive to the basic. Always bring that equipment that you need. Don't rely on an entertainment coordinator or a sound technician to provide everything for you, because there's only so much we know, there's only so much we can do. You might have some special needs with as far as cables go. We don't have that. You're kind of up a creek. So bring your equipment. Go down your checklist. Experienced entertainers have a checklist, believe it or not. They may not say they do, but in reality, they do. I know I do. So always be prepared with all the equipment you need, no matter what, okay? And then as far as stage position, if when you practice, if you're in a band, and you're normally in certain positions when you perform and practice, be flexible, because there are times when there's things that you just can't handle or can't see happening, but will happen. For instance, many years ago, we had a band that came and performed a second year at our fair, and they were a good little band, and they were fun to listen to. But the second year, the heat was brutal. I mean, we didn't have a canopy for our stage, so the performers were kind of left up there in full sun, and we'd had a couple of those outdoor umbrellas put on stage to cause some shade. But this keyboard player in this band, he wanted to be up front, and that's fine. You know, that's the normal position that they practice and perform in. But it wasn't in the shade. It was in full sun. And I asked him, wouldn't you rather be over here in the shade to protect your equipment? He said, no, I'll be fine. Like, okay. I asked him a second time, but he said, no, this is where I want to be. Halfway through their show, the sun fried his keyboard because it was so brutally hot that year. And so it cut their show, well, it cut it in half. And, you know, he didn't realize that he needed to protect his equipment too. I mean, if it's that hot, then it's just that hot for the people too. And so at some point it becomes a safety issue, whether it be your equipment or for you on stage, because on stage it's always a little hotter. So you've got to think about that. The other thing this gentleman did was, off stage, he decided to berate me for putting him in that spot on the stage. And I had to remind him at that point that he chose that spot, that I wanted to put him in the shade to help him out, but he chose that spot. So if you're an entertainer, make sure you keep your cool also, because if the coordinator or sound tech is looking out for you by trying to get you in a better spot as far as safety concerns, think about that. Don't chew them out. Don't berate them. You know, you chose that spot. So you got to think about it. There's more than just, I'm up here performing. You got to protect your equipment as well as yourself. And if that means being put in the shade in a different spot, be flexible. You want to be able to perform the next time somewhere else. You want to have your equipment live through this performance. So there you go. Think about your position on stage, and can you be flexible about it? You don't want the sun getting to you, because it'll do it. If it's an area that's brutally hot, or your area is suddenly going through a hot spell, it could do it. So your entertainer checklist, and your position on stage. Vitally important for your show, because it's almost showtime.